even after the 2 hours, I felt like I had slept, so I stayed really late. But as far as what we're talking about here, I can't see how.
Meditation is a conscious drinking.
Yeah. I don't remember it often. It's just, I was up north and I didn't have to do that. And, I don't like TV, really, so. And I couldn't find a grizzly bear. So I decided I should go with it. Yeah, 2 days before I was there, each day, a grizzly bear showed up at the camp. And I've never seen them in the wild, so I wanted to see it, so I'm walking around and stuff. I couldn't find it.
It can be more like it grizzly bear doesn't see him. Hi, you saw it, yeah?
Grizzly?
There's a funny bear. No. This is invisible beginning. Like enlightenment. You don't know when it begins. How do you know when enlightenment begins?
I don't know.
When the enlightenment begins.
You don't know, you just feel it, you know.
You know?
It doesn't mean it's always there.
That is not my girlfriend, that was me.
No.
So, what was
Afterwards, I want to know how you're speaking.
So tonight is the belief.
yeah, we should focus. Belief and faith. Yeah.
Well, who came up
What was it about?
We did.
with it?
No. We talked about long time ago, and we said, oh, we should do the title Faith Without Belief. Like, oh, we can actually talk about it. But then With.in doesn't talk about it anymore. So, I don't know. Obviously, he wouldn't talk anything about it much. But in order to first of all talk for us about faith or belief, how do we know what are they? We have to know clearly what to talk about. So what is a belief? What is faith? What is it to you?
You're asking.
I'm asking everyone to see what's your experience of faith or belief.
I actually don't like the word belief. Yeah, lately I've been confused a lot about what I believe and why do I believe this, you know. Just, I know it's my mind and ego maybe, and being confused. But
I don't know the definition of that. I think belief is like
acceptance of
telling yourself something that you don't know, just so you can feel better.
I like it.
what
Sounds true enough.
Yeah, the rest of believe, you know, then it's knowing.
I think that both words are connected in some way. For example, faith is maybe that you believe in something, but blind, in a blind way. But I think that it's good for people, faith, because they just do things, don't matter what, and they just keep going just because they have faith. If I know people that they don't have faith, so they are more negative. I don't know what was the question exactly, but what is for me faith and belief? Well, I can say that for other people.
What about belief? Like, what is belief for you?
I think that belief, yeah, is something that makes you feel um, maybe more confident. I like that word, both. But I think that faith, you don't have to connect it with religion always. I think that you can have faith, but cannot with it. It's difficult for me. That's why I just speak in.
So can we turn off the condition?
Maybe this one.
I Googled belief,
Oh, good.
and it's saying an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Something one accepts as true or real, throwing out opinion or conviction.
Okay, so let's play with that. Do I exist?
Yeah, you see? Yes.
How do you know that it's not a belief?
Because I feel I'm in the awareness. I feel my body, I feel my thoughts, right? My mind. I watch. That's why I exist, right? That's why I know.
What about me? Do I exist?
Yeah. Because I see you,
Close your eyes.
you still exist. Because I hear you.
Okay, close your eyes. I won't say anything. How do you know that I exist?
From the memories, maybe?
Just kind of we believe that I exist, but I could already be dead when you close your eyes.
No, but if I close my eyes right now, you mean?
Yeah, and you open and I'm dead.
Ah.
And you still believe that I exist. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'll jump over the edge. So you open your eyes and you still believe that they exist and like, oh shit, it doesn't exist anymore. But you believe, right? So this is,
But is that really believe?
well, you tell me, if you believe that they exist when they don't
Maybe it's
exist,
fact.
what's the fact?
Fact.
That I'm here when I'm not here? Like if you close your eyes and I'm not here anymore, you believe that I'm here. Is it a fact that I'm here? No, I'm not here. The fact is I'm not here. The belief is that you saw me, you still believe in the memory in the past that I'm still here. The past attachment is, I know that he is there, he exists. And you open your eyes, I'm not there. So your belief immediately becomes observed like, oh, it's a belief.
So what's the conclusion?
So it's something connected to the past. And
Something that's connected to the past.
So now how do you know that you exist? By what knowledge? By the past knowledge? What if you don't have any context to base your knowledge on? Any thoughts, any ideas, any information? You just wake up now without any memory, nothing at all. Like you lost everything. You don't know your name, you don't know you don't know who I am, you don't.
But you exist.
Yeah, like you're a baby, like you're just born. Like you don't know what the fuck is going on. All these strange people, lights, everything is just like what is this?
Can you imagine?
So right now, like that.
but you will feel like you're breathing.
Yeah.
Or
You still feel that you're alive, your body is alive.
maybe you stand up and you hurt yourself sound is, you feel pain,
You feel all those
Feelings.
things. You feel all those things. But what tells you to achieve?
no, maybe it's just a body that you are in the awareness.
The awareness.
Yeah, so when you get to this kind of place, when you've lost everything and you just there's awareness of breath, immediate thing. There's a breath. There's life. There's some observing that there's some sort of life going on. Some presence is there. And then from breath, maybe perhaps there's bodily sensations and something is there. And then we build a belief that I am this person, which got this diploma and now is such a great and famous person and should be followed. And, and so on. So we start believing to be somebody successful or miserable or whatever you want to believe. Right? And you build your life on belief. You believe you can achieve so much, that's how much you can achieve. You want to get more, believe that you can get more.
What's the belief?
Yeah, so what is belief? It's this is what it is. The past, like story based type of attachment.
It could be the future story too.
Well, but it has to start from the past because you cannot build a future if there's no past, right? So it has to be mutual. It's always built on something. Belief is building your whole life on some story, on some thought, on some pattern which doesn't necessarily exist, but still by you believing that it exists. So now what is faith? Can you Google what did they say faith?
Faith to me sounds like trust.
Yeah. I think so.
Faith is like the dance.
Väljer att bo ut.
So it's complete trust or confidence in someone or something. A strong belief in God. It's religious or in doctrines of religion based on spiritual version than proof, rather than proof. I like that. A system of religious belief, a strongly held belief of theory. Yeah. The first one is complete trust or confidence in someone or something.
So there's immediately we can see a little bit of a difference between a sense what belief is, by now how we explore what is belief and the faith, right? But only a little because we don't really explore what is faith. Belief is building your whole life upon stories of your thoughts and creates your whole identity and attachments and suffering and happiness, and you believe that you can get that and that's how much you can get or whatever. So now, how does faith plays into the whole story of belief? Where does it belong?
I think it's like hope.
Do you need faith to have a belief? Or do you need belief to have faith? Or can you have faith without a belief?
Faith is when you trust your belief, maybe.
See, it's confusing, right? Because let's put faith in the image of trust. Okay, let's use it trust. So now I have to trust me. Can you trust me? Right? You see, there's some suspicion. Why should I trust him? Maybe I'm just selling beliefs. How do you know that I'm not selling beliefs?
Yeah, that's another thing I want to ask. How do we know if anything is true?
Exactly.
Like lately I've been confused. Why do I believe this?
Exactly.
Why? And I believe this. I don't like it. This word believe.
So what do you believe?
I don't think I believe it. I think I know it. I like that. That change belief. To know it.
Do you believe you know it, or do you?
No, I just know it. Because I feel something inside that it could be true.
It could be true. So
Yeah.
you believe that it could be.
Is it still belief?
Yes, of course.
Words. I don't like just words, you know.
You did start out saying you didn't like that word.
You see, it's good because when we push a little, you find out that no, there's still some belief left somewhere. And actually, it's not bad because we all know it. It's already present, and it's been presented by many people. And I'm doing the same thing just today. It's just saying that you're already fully awake, fully aware. You already know it. Now, in that moment, immediately resistance kicks in. Like, wow, yeah, I could know it, but they believe. If there is a belief that this is not it, this is lacking something. So when I say trust, have faith in me, and what they say that this is it. There's no more to learn. There's no more to get. There's nothing to gain. There's nothing to learn in practice and in believing and doing. Just relax. Allow your attention to be fully present in this moment and observe that from this moment, as I said, if you lose everything and you have nothing no more, in this moment, there is only observation of breath, immediate sensations, nothing more. Belief can start the whole world coming into existence. Right now, if you're in that state, you have nothing, but belief can create all of it. So now when I say trust in what I say, is that trust, have faith that this is not necessarily true. Perhaps this is the world that is being built by so many years, so many people, so many systems that you've been going through. So maybe the life that you're living is not necessarily true, it's only a belief. And the truth is in this moment, when there's nothing more to get, nothing to obtain or resist or to lose, it's just to relax and say, I had a belief. Wow, that's a big one. I believe that I'm living life. And that there is me who lives this life, me who suffers, and there's big drama and everything. There is a big belief, but if in this moment when I lose everything, I have no memory, no nothing, there's nothing. There's just still moment, empty. Awareness is there, sensation is there, breath is there, right? So trust, have faith that this is it. There's no belief. That's it. That's in this moment. There's only awareness of breath of this moment. No thoughts, no belief. This is it. That's why right now we're not gonna create a space or a belief, but we're gonna use time to sit with this. This is it. Yeah. And allow this space when you have nothing. And observe if your belief starts building up. Because remember, you have no memory. No nothing. You don't even know your name. The only thing that you know in this moment is awareness, there's breath, sensations maybe, and see what arises in this moment. Because you're empty of everything.
Mind still doesn't stop.
Of course, so watch it. That's the whole entertainment for you.
Mm-hmm.
Being empty and watching how the mind creates beliefs. And then you observe for yourself what is the experience. But in order to know mind, you have to already have the memory of something, right? So in this moment, you don't know the mind. If you just wake up and have no memory of anything, how do you know that there's mind? You know that there's breathing, but you know that there's mind. So.
For me, it's difficult to get in that situation that day to day. Because some days I feel I am present, very focused on nothing else. My mind is occupied. But some days I just doing things and get involved in life or in life and my thoughts thinking, oh, I have to, oh, I have to, and how I can, I don't know, I can, how would you say, I can spend more time present. I find it sometimes difficult. Just I forget to be present.
You were aware of what was happening, right? You're describing it.
If I was,
You know you were. You said you're busy, and so why do you say you're fully aware? You just explained it. So why do you say you're not present?
When you become aware that you're busy, you're already present. Right?
yeah, now I'm saying that.
No, but at that moment when you're busy,
Yeah,
and you
realize, but
this is the moment when you realize,
yeah.
and you
Okay.
yeah, and then you become present, and you come down. That's the problem. Like I always try to be present, but then suddenly I understand I need to do all this, and then boom, I'm like, okay, my mind is killing me right now.
Yeah.
Then I realize it, and suddenly I start coming down, I start doing everything like from the present moment. Much easier. You don't become stressful after. What would you say?
That's a funny belief.
Is it a belief?
I would say that when you're calm or you're stressed, you're equally present.
We always present, yes, but
It's almost
yeah,
it's almost true. This is happening, I'm not present. I'm just saying, no, you're always
we're always present, technically, but
technically.
but our mind, our mind creates.
But we don't know is there a mind, right? In this moment, we don't know. Because in this moment, we lost all the memory.
No, yeah.
So how do you know that there is a mind?
Situation.
Well, but right now, there's no situations, right?
Okay.
This is how it became present. You look, is there right now a mind? Is there right now this kind of situation?
No.
Do you really have to go, or did you just make a joke?
No,
Good. He took you seriously. He believed. See how quick we can believe.
Yeah.
However, right now, let's sit in the space where we don't even know if there is a mind, because that's a belief that the mind exists. We don't know that I exist, because right now, if you lost all the memory, you just wake up, you open your eyes, and you're like, what is this? What do you know? At this moment, that's it, right?
But is knowing, is it mind?
No, we have to observe, right? We don't know. We cannot say knowing or anything mind, because right now, in this moment, there's nothing. We're empty. In this moment, a knowing, something is knowing. How do you know that there is knowing? In this moment, we're empty. Knowing. What is this knowing? We don't know what is this knowing. What is speaking this knowing? You don't know anything. You're just being empty. You open your eyes and you say, knowing is, how does that start? You have to have space right now and just observe. Being empty of knowing, empty of mind, empty of anything. Just observe the breath. Let's start with the breath, because this is what is the most immediate that came to us when we imagine this kind of state. So right now, let's not imagine, but observe what is that kind of state to be in. So observe the breath, observe the sensations, observe the feelings, everything that goes through your body. Observe the thoughts, the minds, the belief, if it arises. just observe everything that there is without any intent to do anything about it, to gain anything, to change anything. Allow everything to be as it is.
you're gonna go. So from there.
There's still some ringing going on.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's very similar phone to.
Or
I thought it was still here.
do we believe that? We don't know. It's a belief or something we hear. Cannot trust even yourself.
I have faith that's what my ears are hearing.
Do you believe that I should say something else?
For the one you're paying for, you're better.
Or maybe you should tell me, what did you observe? Because I don't believe that I should say anything at all. But I want to see what's your observation during this time, because remember, we were doing nothing, absolutely just being and observing the breath, the sensation, everything there. So, did you observe any belief arising that you're this problem or that thought or something? So,
Lots of thoughts.
thoughts.
Just for some moments, but then I say, I'm thinking, stop, focus on listen, but just for, then just, you start with the hearing that noise, and suddenly you finish in a thought, when what's happening? So then you something like that. So I feel a strong person in this room since I came here. I can feel my brain, my muscles here. I don't know. So, yeah.
Spooky. All over you. Strange presence. But what if this strange presence never gets away? Leave from here and you always have this strange presence. Not in this room, but in your life.
If I have the same here in my life,
Yeah, well, if you leave right now, you say there's strange all over your face, your brain. What if you leave and it doesn't stop?
you will be perfect. You will wait.
That would be perfect.
Huh?
That would be perfect.
Yeah, because I'm, I'm watching my body.
And if that is not there, it's not perfect.
That is perfect, yeah. If I continue in this state.
And if you don't continue, it's not perfect.
Oh, let's see. I will send a text you. No, he's okay too, but I'm trying not to be just okay.
So you're trying to be perfect.
To feel completely. Sometimes you're doing something and your brain is not place. That's what we. For most of the time, not sometimes. So that will be perfect.
Very good.
If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm drinking the tea, I'm drinking
Yes. So if you know that you're thinking about something else, then you're doing something that is not letting you to feel completely. So
tea.
what does letting you to feel and present?
Maybe I'll ask it in Spanish.
No, just I don't know.
You were just saying that like your mind is thinking about something else.
My mind is
So
but when I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do, what
so Exactly.
I cannot get your point. But I would like to continue.
So you're thinking.
Yeah. So,
Right now, I think enjoy the present moment.
Yeah, so if you do something and you think about something else, what's not letting you just be?
man,
We just accept the moment. It's the thing.
yeah, Joe, I'm not very spiritual. I'm not the guy that.
How you can accept mine?
Oh. You just accept what is, right? Yeah. If you think too much, no. It's going to explain.
Who's going to accept it?
Yeah. Why to accept it? Why? And who will accept it? Why not to say no? I don't want to accept it. Why accept is better than not accept?
Accept, you kind of resist, you know. I don't think it built up anymore.
Why resisting is bad? Why not to resist if you resist? Don't resist fully as much as you can. Resist like if for example if they take her finger like this, yeah, take like this, put your finger like that, and then you also yeah. And now you both try to pull it and resist to pull it.
Okay.
Come on, resist completely, like fully resist.
Then I don't go down.
See, you cannot even fully resist. You're like, oh, it's inbuilt in you to resist resistance. You think that to resist, to not accept, is bad. There's a belief already built in that even now, if I say, oh, just do this, even that, there's some sort of resistance to do a resistance game. Because it's inbuilt in everybody to go for the best, to acceptance, to not resist, and for these qualities which apparently are better. But who told you that resistance is bad? Who told you that not acceptance is bad? If in the moment you're feeling resistance, if in the moment you feel not acceptance, frustration, why is it bad?
No, I don't think it's bad. I don't say it's bad.
Yeah, so if you resist, why don't just resist? If you don't accept, why don't you just don't accept? And and it's, you'd like to accept is better, seems to be better, not resisting and to accept and everything. But if in the moment that is not the case, why not allow that?
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's the
That's a good one. But allow it to be pretty much the same as you accept it to be.
well. You could say yes,
Yeah.
but and then if you allow or accept, still there has to be somebody doing that. Does life allow the trees to grow, or trees grow?
Yeah.
Does life allows the sun to shine, or the sun shines?
Yes.
Yeah, scientifically, I can see life has some conditions and whatnot, but life doesn't have like, okay, sun, today you're not gonna shine, I don't allow you. Right?
Trees would never grow if there would be no atmosphere, earth, and all this. So, and life allow.
Yes, in a way, in a way, yes. See, we cannot speak about anything without compromising another part because it's all interrelated and connected. So we cannot just exclude anything that we talk. We have to always to include the other part, even if it seems to it's probably the wrong question to ask for this. However, do you believe that there's something more to get to be present to something more perfect, something more better, which is something special maybe. Should be something, right, which is felt like I have this. This is it. Look at me. Something like that. Everybody knows that this this man, he has it. Do you want something like that, or how do you imagine that it should be? Your complete awakening when you don't need anything more. Because what kind of awakening are you believing into? What is your belief to be here? So just understand what is belief and faith. By my understanding, you're here not to just explore these two words, but also to understand yourself. And by understanding yourself, you're bound to get into a situation where you will get insights and awakening takes place. And if you get in touch with me, I always warn people that whenever you get here, be careful because when you leave through those doors, you're already gonna have a virus implanted in you, and it's just gonna grow inside and devour you from inside and destroy you. It's impossible to leave from here the same as you came. So you voluntarily come here, you see what I show to you, and you cannot live the same way anymore because I tell you that thoughts are not real, beliefs are not real. In this moment, there's absolutely nothing doesn't exist. Even I don't exist. What you hear is not real. It's your own imagination that there is a belief of you existing on this place where you sit. There is a belief that you see me sitting here. You hear me saying something to you. It's all belief. Nothing of this is really happening. All of it is imagination. Appears to be so. Appears to be in this moment. As soon as we shut up and attention is just present with what is, nothing's happening. We don't know any of this happened or not. So the whole life is based on this. And as soon as I show that this is how it is, the awakening is only to see that this is the moment, and there's nothing more. This moment alone, there's no more to gain. The awakening boils down to this. But belief is there that there should be something special, something other than this.
You are thinking of the future or expecting something for the future always with the belief, no?
Like for me with the music, right? I expected something was going to happen all the time. I try to achieve that. And I understand and I'm aware of this. And I don't know if it's a real belief.
Well, in music or in any creative work which you do, I feel it's more like you have faith in what you do, that you trust that it makes you happy. And it's not really, unless you build a belief I'm gonna be such a great person, and then maybe somebody will destroy your belief because you made this beautiful painting in your eyes. Somebody will come and say it's a piece of shit, and your artist belief was destroyed. But if you have faith in yourself, and something may come. But you don't have to have belief. So yeah, and in any creative work is gonna be like that. So it's natural to experience these type of things, and as if there would be an expectation, because there's a sensation that if you put full trust and faith in yourself and what you do, and enjoyment, and just exclude everything, because you're present. When you do that, you're present.
Yeah.
So there's full trust and faith that this is gonna bring something, and of course it will. Presence always brings something. Belief, of course, brings more of what you don't want necessarily, but presence always provides with what you need, and more than you expect. You cannot expect anything out of presence because we don't know what presence is. We only can imagine what presence is with our thoughts. Nobody has really. But in order to feel presence, you have to be present, not to imagine that you're present. Like many people right now are practicing to be present. I pay attention to my breath, my hands, my body. Presence. Presence. So present. So you adopt that kind of state and you believe to be present, and then that's it. In that moment, you finish. And presence, what really is not doing this. Because this is not present. This is only an activity to practice some other state. Presence is natural being, the way you are now. Completely neutral, completely passive, normal as you are. Like your breath. You don't have to. It happens naturally. Presence is a natural way of being. That's why people say observe your breath, because you come to the most basic natural thing. You observe the natural way of being. But don't observe it like, oh, I'm coming down to the breath, I'm more present. Presence. It's not. Just understand that this is natural way of being. You don't have to learn or practice it anymore. There's understanding. You already know. They see, they feel it. Now, when I say that this is it, there's nothing more, I'm saying that there's already understanding, there's seeing, there's knowing in your being that awakening could be only this. That there's no more belief needed to hold for any other state imagined for awakening. And you could put your faith and trust in this moment and allow this moment to show you what it is really like to be. Not to believe that, oh, this is not enough, I have to do something more. No, fully just surrender to this moment, allow attention to rest and relax in this moment alone. Not even think what you're gonna do home or what's gonna happen after 5 minutes. When you will leave, you'll know. Now we don't know. It's only this moment. Thought may come and say something, but now in this moment you know that thought. It's not present. Anything that the thought tells is not present. Anything that beliefs says is not present.
You know, like the same when you feel like if I put touch this one, how do you feel?
Trap. The touch.
Yeah, cold.
Yeah.
Like who's telling you that?
My senses.
Yeah, but how you know that it's cold or hot?
So again, my senses.
But like
my
who's
my brain tells me.
if you don't have memory, you don't have anything, you just feel touch.
Ah, okay,
But
I know what you mean.
it's
Yeah,
cold, you
yeah,
don't know
okay.
it's hot, you don't know any difference.
Yeah,
So never to confuse them with your senses because it's still you cannot just feel pain or bad or good things, not the senses. What's telling you that it's painful or it's
belief. Mhm.
It's a cool example.
So now you know the answer to your earlier question.
What question?
Texas.
I don't know.
so even like, not just thoughts that can make sense. Uh, Made that thought or experience that someone said, and this is
Yeah.
hot, this is cold, this is painful, this is
That's a good
pleasure.
example. Yeah. That's why I don't like wars. You know, our civilizations were made out of wars. It's for us to use and so I could believe in this. You know.
If we have no words, we cannot believe in anything.
Yeah.
Because we experience directly.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
How
it.
do we know this is a table?
Yeah, we have to.
We just made it up. This war.
Yeah, exactly. So we made up this whole world by the context, by the stories. Like we built that, and this is the most stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
That we managed to build this whole world
Yeah.
and we still don't understand ourselves.
Yeah.
In this whole world, we're lost, we're suffering, we're confused, we're unhappy, we're in pain, we're searching for something, we're always striving, we never can relax and stop just to be in this world. The world is the way it's designed. It's beautiful. Wow, literally, look what mankind actually achieved. But it cannot be in this world. It's created in the world in which it can be. It's just still looks for another way to be. Isn't it a funny way that we live, that we cannot relax and just be in what you already created? We still want to create more, better, something else than this. So when will the man will be happy? Never. We cannot ever be a happy man without knowing who you are. This world, like people try to change to, like we
Always
can,
want more.
yeah, we can complain about one person that their politics are bad, or we can complain about another thing that there is another. We can complain all these things, but the truthfully, what's really lacking is knowing of yourself who you are, knowing that everything is built by belief. This table, this computer, this clothes that you're wearing, the couch that you're sitting on, everything is built by thoughts, by belief. Likely, my idea of who I am is built also the same way. So you don't really know anything but beliefs and thoughts and stories.
There's no way we can live without it. We live in a belief.
So you're suggesting that all this is an illusion.
Oh yeah. It seems to be real, it feels to be real, but how do we know it's real? By our thoughts telling us, like touching a cup, it's cold. It's a cup. Cold, this already our thought. So we create an illusion that this is the sensation of it. We don't know what's the sensation other than just a cup. So the whole world is just an illusion by how we believe it is.
Yeah, it's the sense that it's cold. But what if I didn't know what cold means?
Yeah. It's the sense that I am a human being, but what if you did not know what a human being is?
Yes. Wow.
That's
I will
example.
experience that. I just want to erase my memory.
Right now. This
Yeah,
moment.
but
No, but this moment, this is the moment when you are seeing this. You say, I want to see this. No, you are seeing this. Don't run away from this experience. Right now, you are seeing this, that this is the same belief that I am a human being. This is the same illusion that I'm living in. You are seeing it. You don't have to want to experience it. There is this already the experience. Look at what happens. Resistance that kicks in from the mind. I want to. Meaning, but you are this. You're already seeing. I'm saying there is already. This is it. Seeing is there. The mind wants to resist it as much as it can by creating beliefs to continuously sustain an illusion that this is not it. But this is it. You are already seeing. There's nothing more. Everything is empty out of anything without the belief, without the thought. So this moment there's nothing.
How much input do you have right now?
I'm sorry.
How much input, essential input do you have right now?
What do you mean?
With touching, don't focus on touching or anything. How much input?
Really light. Feel
And,
less mind.
is it ever more than this?
Yeah.
Is it ever less focused?
Yes, I felt more. I remember I told you that.
So you might feel a bit heavier, you might feel up, but
No, I mean, right now I'm like present. I don't want to go in mind.
that's okay. That's all I'm trying to say is you're going to have maybe variations on
Yes.
very minimal input.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like that.
You mean like feelings or what?
Yeah, your toe might hurt more or something, so you're a little bit of focus there, or you're not focusing on the toe, there's some sort of like light input, so there's some seeing. But without the thought, you have the almost just this very minimal basic input.
Mm.
It's always like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, making like this, and I don't thought about it. While you were thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
If you don't think about that, then you feel pain.
This is such a hard question. You know, all your life you've been conditioned to believe. You know?
Yeah, so all your life you've been conditioned to believe that you're a human.
Yeah,
And then now you kind of look at it, but maybe it's a belief that I'm a human. And I don't really know. In this moment, I don't. I see that a human is a belief that's just the same as it is a pain, just the same as it is cold, just the same as everything else. Human is also a belief like any other sensation. I am a human being is just a sensation. Do you have the same sensation when you go to sleep that you're a human? No. When you're asleep, something else happens. You may dream that you're a bird.
I'm not always aware that I'm a human being.
So that's interesting. You may be aware that you're a human being for 10 hours of your day. 5 hours of your day, you may be aware that you're a goat. You don't know what you're dreaming.
Sometimes I just don't know.
Exactly. And maybe another few hours, there's absolutely nothing. Deep sleep. Total absence of absolutely anything that there is. Empty.
Actually, when I'm more in the present moment, I think, I'm more aware that I'm a human being. That's not, yeah. When I become aware of my mind and all these things, I become more aware of myself. That means to become aware that I'm a human being.
You have sensations.
Yes.
Maybe more bodily sensations. That's all that happens, right? You don't have to say that makes you.
Maybe I just become aware of my body.
Of a body.
Yeah, that's
Of
why.
a body.
Of a body.
Oh yeah.
Is that better?
Well, yeah.
Why do you say it's dark?
My body and a body, yeah, that's two different things. Because if you say it's my body, you have to believe that you have one. If it's a body, yeah, if you have a sensation of a body, the same as you have a sensation of a goat body. You don't know. You don't know really. This is a really good dream body. You dream that with this body you can do music.
My mind is confused. And I know it's my mind that's making me confused. My mind is confused by it of itself.
Oh, that's good.
But you see that like you felt the cut.
Yeah.
I thought,
You felt the cut.
yeah.
Now you see the mind.
Now you see the
It's just the same sensation.
Wow. I just realized that. That's amazing. That's exactly what I felt maybe that day, remember?
I don't really remember because that involves a belief that there is that there is somewhere. So if you still remember that they exist,
I know, I still believe, but
tell me about it. I don't remember.
there was that day when I was reading The Power of Now.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, where I told it. And I'm reading it. Whoa! Just suddenly realized that all this, like, wow, it's all my mind. I just realized that my mind became aware. And just I went into the spaciousness, of something. And this is what I'm feeling right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's amazing. And,
There.
and I know it's like, again, it's a belief, I understand that. Maybe.
So can you get out of this now?
I'm just being in the moment.
Can you be not in the moment?
Yeah,
Try.
just start thinking about
Okay,
something.
try.
Yeah, I'm ready now in the moment.
That doesn't look like it. It happens.
I don't know if I'm confused in my mind or.
Even when you're daydreaming, you're aware fully in a daydream. So
Yeah.
that's so smart. It's awesome. It's great. You're fully aware that you're daydreaming. Otherwise, you wouldn't stay in there.
And now the best thing, you're daydreaming a human. You're daydreaming a god, daydreaming a human. Well, that's funny.
That was a good example. You're aware of a cup. So why not to be aware of the mind, right? But isn't it a belief still? Because I'm aware of a cup. I know it's a cup, right?
Well, if you close your eyes, you don't know, you just feel. That's a feeling.
Who's in with it?
Without, can you look at the cup without a thought?
Yeah, it's the same as the Catholic was saying. Look at the trees without thought. Just observe the trees, right? So,
Don't call a tree a tree. Don't
yeah,
call a cup a
don't
cup.
call a cup a cup.
Don't call yourself yourself.
And yeah. Look. Oh.
I think we should do the cup. To take with you. It's not the same cup.
Maybe more presences in that one. So now the trouble of all of this is how to stop being present.
Oh, you know.
Okay, try. Go try. Go out and see if
No.
I'm going to give you my cell phone number. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. And I want you to call me when I'm present.
And he's not joking.
It's like you just don't have a choice. You have to be present all the time.
Yes.
That's so good. That's so good. So good.
It's gonna be difficult not to be present now. Oh, yeah. Now look at that. You're having a difficulty.
Who are you? Yeah. Can you answer that?
You want me to answer to it?
Yeah.
Where the story begins.
I would say there's no group. It's just what's happening.
It's just what's happening. And there's no you. It's again, it's a belief.
You know, I think that you're very attached to work, very strongly attached to work. Yeah.
Maybe.
Not anymore. Try to attach it now. We don't like you. in
Well,
presence.
I'm very attached. Towards also.
But probably not now.
What makes you think you're attached?
It's good.
It's so awesome, right? It's just it's like, I'm so confused. Now
And do you see what kind of difficulty we have? Oh, it's going to be difficult to stop being present. This is the ultimate goal of all the spiritual people to be present. And this, for us, it's difficult to stop being present.
But I feel so weird now. I don't know if I'm present at all.
every thought is
Welcome to the moment. You don't know you're present, you don't know you're not present. What to do? Yeah.
It's like I'm struggling, you know? But I know it's my mind struggling.
So you're not struggling.
What do I say?
Are you saying this or is it just a belief?
Believe that I'm struggling?
No, are you saying this? Or do you believe that you're saying this? Do you have any control? Do you have any control of what happens? Your body says that, and your body asks, "Why am I saying this?" What can you help?
So what should I do?
Yeah, I don't know. What can you do? Can you do anything, or is it a belief that you can do something? And there's I who can do something.
I don't know, there's nothing. It's just not. It's like we're stoned, you know? It's like we're so psychedelics.
She got power to time.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's good. Anyway, who will be the first one to start laughing? Because I knew that someone has to. Can we just say nothing and stay in this nothing forever without laughing at it? Yeah. It's so good that I'm crying from this. But how do you know that you're stoned? Maybe this is natural way of being. Maybe you're naturally stoned. And when you believe that you're a human, you become apparently normal. And when you are stoned, you're actually normal. Like now you're normal, but you feel like stoned.
wow. That's what I'm gonna say to all my smokers friends. When you smoke, you're naturally.
But you don't even know how you're gonna say it to them because you don't even know how you do you have those friends. The belief that there's friends. You still believe that you have friends.
It's going extreme now.
In this moment, you don't have friends. You don't have your parents. You don't have your body.
It's just attachments, right?
Yeah, nothing exists as you say nothing. Your friends, your parents, your body, it's a belief. It doesn't exist. This moment is empty. It's nothing. You say what to do now? Have faith in your being. This is my punchline of the, of the night. Have faith in your being. Don't believe, have faith in your being. Yeah.
I knew I need to come today. I needed to come. I felt something.
Do you feel it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the feeling that brought you.
Okay, well, only I'm talking. Oh, really? Did you meet before?
No, it's
Like, trust you. You don't know anybody? Wow.
yeah. Let's focus on the new guy now. So, why did you come here?
How did you find out?
Most questions.
Very true.
We don't like it. A friend of mine came here. I was reading the same book. We were talking about that. I was curious about that, so I said, well, why not? So I came.
What's your friend?
They came two Brazilians and one
Oh,
German.
yeah.
And German is
Yes. Oh, so the
Christian.
Christian, yes, yes, yes. Oh,
Are
so,
you going to ESL school?
To what?
ESL school? Like English, learning English? Yeah.
No, I'm working.
Working?
Working visa. So,
I see. So they actually.
and we were traveling with Christian together for 1 month. And he was with this book.
Mhm.
And when I said, hey, this book, I bought it when I was in Argentina, but I lent it to my father, and my father lost it. No, someone, the power of now.
Or,
So this month that I have the book there, I said, okay, I can read it in the trip because we were traveling for 1.5 months. I said, I think it's perfect to start it now with it. And then when he came back here, he went to this meeting, and so he told me, you should go there because they are speaking similar things, the book and stuff.
So now you come here. Is it similar?
Because I'm uh, how do I say?
curious?
I'm experimenting is a bit a word, no? It's that exploring things with this book by myself, but I want to share that with other person that because you can talk with someone, but if he's not very into or he or she is not very into,
Yeah.
you can say, oh yes, it's a great place for me. But it's different when someone else know more, you feel that connection.
Mm.
Basically, that's what
So when you read that book and you
I didn't finish.
Yeah.
I don't finish it.
Well, it doesn't matter. That doesn't have anything more to say than tonight here about the experience anyway. Uh, so when you read some part of that book, right, and now you come here, and how does it feel to be here? Because your friends told you, oh, they speak about something similar what's in that book, right? So do you find that what you find here is similar in that book?
Yeah.
Is it similar or is it like how is it?
The book just was telling me that there is something else.
Mhm. And now, what is your experience? Do you experience that something else in this moment, or do you still need to read the book?
No. But I'm still curious about.
Of course,
The book, but during I was reading, I was exploring, and before I tried meditation, um, now I understand that meditation is a way to just to be more alert, more alert to the present. No?
Well, I was just waiting for you to say to be more present, and I'm going to jump on you.
Hmm.
To be more present. Wow.
Remember, when you're less or more present, you're going to call.
See, that is very important to notice that less present or more present has to come out of a belief. You don't know more present or less present. That's a belief. But you have to build an experience, a story that you have been less present, and then you have to build a story that you can be more present. Both of them don't exist as a belief. There's present, there's beingness, there's natural way I am, I exist. This is just this. So what you're reading in that book is kind of ways into that state of experience of this. But right now, what you're experiencing, the book will not have anything more for you to offer. You can read that book and see. Oh, no, you actually should read it and see that that book doesn't actually even feel that much of a need because it was good for the beginning. It's really good for the beginning to get you out of your mind. It gives you practice this, do this, and it catches the attention in a way that spiritual people love to do. But then you don't stop in the restaurant when you get an appetizer. You don't stop eating. This is a good appetizer, but you have to go to the experience of a full meal, of a full presence. And this moment, this is a full experience of your being. That's why I say this moment, tell me when it's gonna stop. If you go through those doors, you don't know is it gonna stop. It's a belief starts building up that it can stop. But you are fully now. There's nothing that can stop because nothing had begun. As I said, we didn't have real beginning. We didn't have beginning for our being. Being is.
Yeah, but we had beginning of our meeting.
It appears so. It appears that we have a beginning of the body, the end of the body, beginning of a thought, the end of a thought.
When did the meeting start?
It's 7 p.m.
Maybe it started when the email.
Email.
And when I emailed, maybe the meeting started when the email was sent.
Yeah, I know it's all time. Time is illusion. Yeah.
The only thing that when it is just arbitrary kind of thing. So you say it's past 7 p.m.
I would say meeting started after 7:30 because I was here only after 7. So we can argue about some belief system about something. We cannot argue without beliefs. Like, what is there to argue about? We come here and sit and we say, well, there's nothing. And then we sit for a few minutes and then somebody starts laughing. We tried it.
It's funny, so much gets said because even in that book somewhere, it says that, it says it's so simple, everybody just walks by. But it says it's so simple, it's just not.
You mean on the street.
No, it's in his book, The Power of Now.
Um.
Everybody misses this, blah, blah, blah. But it's so simple, it's just now. So, I mean, that's all I can do is inside the book, it's just now. And it's good enough.
So imagine I can write the whole spiritual awakening history on a small tissue paper, a corner. No, that's done. But who will buy this kind of book? Who will print a small tissue paper? Like you cannot even see how this is dirt or what. But that's the whole secret of the spiritual history. This. No.
The minds don't want that anymore, so more gets said.
So then you write another book, you know.
And then so more gets said, and over, I guess, I don't know what it is that, or we keep talking or whatever, but because as you see yourself, the mind doesn't want to accept. That's just, that's it.
So just to fulfill the game, just to fulfill the game, there's many people writing the books for those who still believe that they need to read them. Just to fulfill the game, there's many people who are offering spiritual practices for those who feel that they need to do those practices. So for your idea, just to fulfill the game, that you need to listen to me to get something. I'm sitting here and I'm saying that this is it, there's nothing more. And for your own fulfillment, because you cannot just accept that there's nothing more in just this moment, I have to tell that to you. So I could write a book if you still don't believe me, and then maybe you're gonna believe me that this is only it. So how much do you need me to fulfill your game of wanting to not accept it until to coming to the same point that this is only this? I totally am aware of it, that I don't have to be sitting here and telling you this. You know this. This is not something to know. This is already your being. I don't need to tell you about it. It just happens that your imagination is that somebody has to tell me something. I have to look for a spiritual awakening. So I sit here and say, hey, I tell you about spiritual awakening. It's just this.
And just this cannot be known.
You mean present moment?
The moment that we go, I know it. Who's the I? Who's the know? Right? It's kind of like the identity, the energy wants to hold on to something, wants to know something, wants to. I just that was important. I think I remember. But that just this experience of being. Forget about trying to know anything.
Yeah, like trying to label it and like I exist and all those things. Just experience what is.
Because that's actually what's happening.
Yeah.
It's just this experience.
So simple. It's simple as I know it's my mind, but it's kind of even boring.
Yeah, it's boring for the mind because
For the mind,
because it's nothing to do.
but not for the mind. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just so simple and amazing.
And you feel big.
Yeah. And then if the mind shows up, that's just what's happening.
And look, this is the funny part. You feel big, right?
Yeah.
And a small mind shows up. And they say, I'm such a big mind. Oh. And you're like, and you believe it. The funny thing, you're so big and you believe such a small mind.
When the mind shows up, you start following your mind. But then suddenly you realize, okay.
And who follows the mind?
Who follows the mind, actually?
See, you have to be very careful, because if you say I follow the mind, you start following the mind. There's you.
I'm already following the mind.
Yeah, you don't even know, are you there? That's the first place, and who will follow? Because following is only, you know what happens? I'll just point you to this moment so there's no confusion, and it's going to be very simple. Attention observes the mind. Attention observes the body. Attention observes the breath. As soon as attention observes the mind, because the mind is clever, it says,
Attention.
mind is very clever, so it says anything to get your attention, and says, oh, your cat died. Oh, my cat died. Then your attention falls. Because this is a belief into that story, a past, a pattern which apparently is important. In this moment, it doesn't exist, but the belief can arise like this, or then your attention follows that. But you are watching the attention following the mind. So you cannot be not present. You cannot be in the mind because you're watching attention. You cannot be not conscious because you're aware of consciousness and unconsciousness.
Because you're consciousness.
You're aware of consciousness and unconsciousness.
And you cannot be conscious because you're aware.
You cannot be unconscious. It's impossible to not see. You cannot lose your presence. You cannot gain your presence. You cannot lose your consciousness. You cannot gain consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You observe all of that.
But what is observing then?
I don't know. You tell me.
Awareness?
Are you observing that there is a word awareness? Does that add?
Again, this word.
Yeah. Does this complete?
Why does he know this?
Because I'm curious. I know it's my mind. It's my mind, but
If you don't know this, what's going to happen?
if
If you don't know this, what's going to happen?
don't watch this all.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I mean, this present moment, yeah. And I feel good. Then I know, yes, it's my mind. Okay, then I realize it again.
See how quick the mind
Yeah.
is. It loves your attention, so it will do anything. And this is for everybody. Everybody has that kind of affection for the infection that we have.
Because I just want to know I know it's my mind talking right now, but want to know what's beyond that.
Why do you want to know?
Why does your mind want to know beyond that?
Who wants to know? What,
Because a lot of
you want it in this show, what's happening is, this is all wonderful and that, but something wants to identify with that. Say, I've got it. I know it's not like it feels if I can see whatever. But you can't know because that's the same. It's the same thing. It's telling you more or less or blah blah blah.
Can you accept that you can never know? There is a knowing of not knowing.
It's hard to accept for me.
For you? For your mind?
Maybe for my mind, yeah. Because I came from like a scientific point.
Of course.
Science and all this thing. And try to analyze everything, I love science. And especially how everything came to be, all this Big Bang and everything.
Yeah.
And just knowing what happened before that.
From a scientific point of view, what is known? What is knowledge? From a scientific point.
Knowledge. It's going to be mind, right? If you say from scientific point of view,
It's also
say it from your mind.
It's also going to be past.
It's past, yeah.
So there is now.
When did the science start? When did the science start that we could say, I have a point of view from science? Before science, what kind of view people talk about? They still lived and communicated. So you see, we had the religion, now we have science, another religion.
Yeah, like science, it's another religion. I know that. And I used to be like, really, oh my god, science, and then I realized, it's still a belief. Of course, there's some things like good to believe, they're like facts.
Well, that's
And it's for it's for your mind. Some answers to some questions that we don't know about the universe and everything. They come which I love space and all this stuff. Really curious about that. And I know it's my mind asking these questions. What's out there and how does it work? Why does it work that way? Why? Why like this? And
No, it's not the problem with this kind of question.
when I get confused, I start thinking more. Wow, who made that? Who made that? Who made that?
So then you start tripping a little on your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's not bad to have these kind of thoughts because these kind of thoughts eventually brought all of these what we have into existence. But excessive thoughts of these create suffering.
Exactly, maybe it's suffering. Yeah. I suffer, right? When I start thinking about this, I'm like, oh my god.
So you feel pleasure and suffer. It's like sweet and salty.
Yeah.
And that's why you cannot have one without the other. We want to have a beautiful orgasmic awakening without any suffering. Why? Why would you want that? How could you get that? You have to, if you want awakening, you have to have suffering also. It's both. We live in this world where, all.
Ask any scientist who are. Ask any scientist who are. See what answers we get.
Yeah. No, some of them actually say we are awareness. All this thing.
From a scientific point of view, I'm awareness. And I've never heard that.
But again, they ask questions why. Why do we wear? That's what science always do. They always ask why, and then me too, and I ask why does it work that way?
You know what science
Why
never
do we
asked?
see? Why do we feel?
Science never asked, why do we ask this question?
Science rarely asks who's asking the question.
It lacks awareness to ask this kind of question. But that's not a problem. We're not trying to be scientific point of view. Here we're only being. And that's the lack of being a person, being a human, just being.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Simple, just be, just live your life. Follow your passion. But again, passion is not passion.
How do you know what is your passion? You built some sort of idea that this is my passion. I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
And that's when I get frustrated again.
There's being,
What is it?
there's being, and then a life. It's not your life.
Ah, okay, so it's two separate things.
No, it's one thing.
Look at this guy. He talks as if he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you're like two gurus now.
It's the beat.
So there's being and there's life. How do you know even those?
How do I know there's any being?
Yeah. That's why you don't question.
What is being? Again, all these words again. Being,
There's a simple, as soon as you say anything, create the concept.
I really like how calm you are. Or like, we still in this moment.
It's so it's just so funny. So you see, one wise man, philosopher, whatnot, told long time ago. I know one thing. I know nothing.
It's so funny. I knew one thing. It's the best joke, actually. So what's next?
Nothing.
Just like that.
Yeah, the mind cannot accept it. This mind, what's next? You know? For the mind is next, but for you, just that.
The most fundamental question of our civilization. What's the point of life?
Tell me.
Nothing.
Don't tell them. You can tell me. Don't tell them. Imagine if somebody asks you that question and you tell that to them, no, they will not like it.
Oh yeah.
But for me, yeah, I agree. Nothing. There's no point on that.
To leave. Maybe just to leave.
Yeah, but even that, you don't really have to live, you live. You don't have to create a point. I'm gonna live. You live.
Yeah.
Pointless
But we
life.
still do like things in life.
Life,
Things happen.
life lives itself.
Things happen.
And you still follow your dream. Like
Your full dreams are followed.
Everything happens as it happens.
What's his you thing you keep talking about?
Use me. But what is you?
What is me? What is you? You see, there's observation, there's passion, there's dreams, there's life. Your body will grow, everything changes, you know, things happen. The life is being lived without you. You believe that you are living life. Now you observe there's nothing, there's just living life. Just I am life itself. You could say that, but you know this is bullshit that nobody will understand. It's as good as to say nothing.
Observing a body, you're observing a cup, you're observing life.
Just getting experiences. Yeah. That's why you here for. You get experience and learn.
I would say there's experience.
And then the thought says, that's why I'm here for. See, there's nothing really, just an experience, and a thought arises and say, this is what I'm here for. This is the point of, you could say, yes, this feels like it, because otherwise, why to be here? The experience is our most interested desire to have. That's, well, yeah, you could say, you could say that, but you cannot really allow other people to hold on to this because they're gonna create another stupid idea.
How do you go then are in a normal day life? It sounds so weird.
Okay, I'll tell you.
No, I can. Okay.
Oh, you want to know? Okay. So, normal day of life, body gets up, goes to the washroom, picks up the backpack, goes to work.
But your mind, or the mind is first is creating an illusion of that you're in your body.
No, I don't believe that. Why to believe in that? If you know that you're not your body. Why to still believe that you are?
So you always keep that.
I don't keep anything. No, I don't keep anything. I just, right now, you are seeing that you're not your body. That's why you're asking this question. How do you live that way? Because you don't know how can you live in this way. Obviously, if you don't believe that you're your body, if you don't believe that you're this, it's strange to live because the whole life you know by believing into this. But now you believe that I have to live differently than you because I know this, right? I don't know anything more. I only experience myself without a belief. Now you're experiencing yourself without the belief, and it's interesting. How do you live the life? And Watch for yourself. How are you going to live your life without the belief that you are living it? You still get up, go to the washroom, you eat, you do everything, it gets done. But you don't say, I am doing this. You lose the I in the life. You may pretend and say in front of your friends, like, oh yeah, I had a good day and stuff. You may still pretend and play in the situation and live in that idea for a moment, right? Like for a moment you feel a cup, you don't even know it's a cup. There's a sensation. For a moment you feel a conversation with friends and you feel like, oh yeah, I had a great day, I studied, I worked, you play into that because they don't know any of this. And it would be a terrible time for you to try to show them that. So you have to be them with them the way they are. You may have a space where you can actually say something and they'll be like, what the heck? But you have to be careful with that. So it's just like, this is how you normally during the day. Nobody knows. Nobody, like, I work in the mall, I work in the other job. Nobody would know that I'm doing this. If I on purpose don't make stupid, crazy things and ask like strange questions on my own, nobody would know. So you live your life as normal as you are. You're not more special. You're not more present.
No, it's not that you are more something, but you may or you for sure feel less pain or doesn't matter if you say pain doesn't exist. Well,
there's less belief in stories, right? So like you're saying, it was like, so people do know there's certain aspects. Like I had a car accident and was losing a job, and there was something else going on. And then a close friend is like upset about the person who hit me. We told him my car, was taken to the hospital, and just all this stuff was happening. But I guess because I didn't know the story or like all around that and was upset, the person was like, "What's the matter with you? What's wrong with you?" Yeah, like,
You're not being, you're not being
so
normal.
maybe something like that.
They may notice that you don't give a shit. To put it in very simple words, they may notice that you don't give a shit. You don't worry too much. You don't stress too much. You don't feel sad too much. You don't live the same way that they do because you don't believe thoughts and stories so much as they do.
But you will still feel sad.
No, sadness can arise.
Of course.
No, it doesn't mean that you will not feel sad. It means that if sadness arises, it's not I am feeling sad. Sadness is there. And then you feel, yeah, there's sadness, you experience the sadness, there's an energy going on. Now, look what happens. Right now, you classify sadness, happy, this. You classify because you believe in some sort of story which tells you this is cold, this is hot, right? Sadness, happy, you classify it. Actually, what really happens, nothing is ever happening, only this is the present moment. An energy arises. Most of the time, it's from the center of your being, an energy arises. If it's a very sad energy, it's like very low, dense energy. You feel like you kind of want to tuck in. Like you can sense that there's unpleasant energy. You don't have to say it's sad. You can feel even that it's you can even feel that it is sad, but you don't have to make anything more. You just feel a sad energy. Maybe even sad will not be there. You feel other type of energy, mad energy. You can be mad. No, don't believe that you will stop being mad, sad, stressed. Everything can happen, but that is experienced as just an energy going on in this present moment. An observation of that experience as pure energy. You may identify for a while or whatnot, it doesn't matter, but it all boils down, it's observed. Just an energy which arises, and what that energy does, it tries to attract thoughts, to create a story, to create a belief. And if you allow that, it will happen. But if you observe this is just an energy, there's nothing going on. There's a sensation of the energy. It may be very heavy sensation all over your body, and you may be paralyzed. That's how freaked out you may be. You may be so in so much fear that you may not be able to move, or in so much bliss that you're gonna. It can go either way. You don't know. And I'm telling you in both ways that it really can happen. You can be so blissed out that you cannot move. If you move, it's too much bliss. You move your finger, you cannot stand any movement because any movement will create too much of that euphoric state. So to be so still just to not orgasm yourself. You haven't been in that kind of problem. Like, see, these kind of things may happen, but this is just an energy, arising, going, all comes and goes. What never comes and goes,
You just observe it.
just observation, just
You
see.
can dive in it. You can follow this.
Yeah, you follow if you want,
You
no problem.
forget. And then, yeah, like many people on this planet, right? They follow their thoughts and they forget. Like they don't even know.
But now that you see, you may even follow that for a while, and then, oh, that's just happening, right? Like, there's nothing, attachments, yeah, can happen. And then you may have, but there's so attachments happen, and then it's just like, oh, there's the attachment, there's the energy. But then, if you don't have that seed, then you're more likely to go, oh, I shouldn't be attached, I've got to get away from this, and then you're just adding to it.
So it's again,
You're
it's mind.
just adding to the whole, resisting, like you said earlier on. Just gets added, right? Or whatever's happening, it's happening.
So you're just
If you
let
don't
it go.
sustain that, if the thought's not sustained.
See, even to let it go, we have to know first what it means to hold. How do we let go, right?
Many people say just let it go.
Yeah, let go. What would you mean to let go? Just show me how do I hold first.
There's nothing to do, so you can't hold it or and you go, oh, I must do this for proof, right? It's just sustained. Right? It's just what's happening. There's nothing to do that.
What happens? Letting go happens. You do nothing, and then you see, oh, letting go happens of this belief, of this thought, of this feeling, and naturally, when you don't do anything, everything gets released because, well,
And you say, I'm letting go, then you just add it.
as long as there is a sense of I, we do not ask enough of a question, is there an I? Because we can say I, blah, 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 but whenever you say I, is there an I? How do I know there's I?
But in conversations.
Well, in conversations, you pretend. You don't do, you don't do that in conversation. You pretend as I, and you pretend to be normal, and naturally it happens. You don't have to do any effort. Well, sometimes actually you may not. Sometimes you may need some effort to be pretending a human because it's sometimes really hard to play that. You just want to.
So many unconscious people.
Yeah, they may want to communicate with you in such a way, and you're just looking at them, and they get maybe even upset that you're not talking to them, but you just don't want to be that human in front of them, and that's it. And you're not being rude to them; you're just being kind to yourself. You don't have to.
And ultimately, this is all just going to happen. In other words, you have no choice anyway.
Ah,
See, now I'll pull his leg about having no choice. We were hiking in the forest, and I was introducing him that, when I leave, somebody will have to help me to carry on the meetings. And I was laughing at him because, he'll do it. And right now, he didn't even realize yet by the retreat already what happened. And by right now sitting with the beans already, that he's already in this position. I already told him this isn't something that you have to choose. You don't have to do it. I said something very particular. I'm just letting you know of what's gonna naturally happen.
This still has not been agreed upon.
See, he never agreed, but he already sits here.
yeah, he's like,
He's like my right hand. And I said a long time, I made you organizer on the meetup already. I'm like, what? And I know before he knows. And now he says, "Oh, there's no choice, no control." Now he has to face it himself. So he didn't expect this tonight, but they wanted to put this on his face. So, it's just to give an equal kick to each one of us here, so you don't feel very elevated.
Isn't there always a choice?
Not in his case, or not in your case also.
If
There's,
there's no I, like a choice of parents doesn't appear to happen. But if there's no I, who's making the choice?
Bigger, something bigger than that.
Okay, yes, I don't know. But it's not
if there is something bigger than I,
That's good that you know that.
Something bigger.
then who knows that there is something bigger than I? It's not a small I should know that there's something bigger than me.
There's nowhere for your I going to go.
In this you're cornered in the place where whatever you say, whatever you do, it's been directly dropped into the presence of fire. Any belief, any thought will burn immediately. You will not burn, you will observe everything burn. But everything you're gonna say, everything you're gonna do, you have no escape. There's fire burning now in the middle, and everything you allow to exit of yourself starts burning. So what remains is only your own being, nothing really much. You remain, but your bullshit burns. So being burned is also not being being burned down.
What's remaining?
Well, what does it mean?
Buddha?
Yeah, you could say. If that didn't burn also. See, you have to.
Soul, like this is what people call soul.
I don't know. You have to burn.
Don't talk about what you know. Talk about what you know.
No, I'm actually talking about what I don't know because I want to learn about it.
You're gonna tell me something you don't know?
Like we're talking right now about this, it's like I don't know.
Okay.
My mind doesn't.
Sounds a little bit abnormal.
Something knows doesn't know.
I'm not to use I.
Oh, I'm not used to I.
How not to use the word I?
Okay, very simple. The body says, the mouth speaks, the hand takes the cup, drinks. Speak from the third person. Don't say I am doing. Doing happens. I'm not eating. Eating happens. Hand puts food into mouth. You can do that just to disturb the identification for the mind, just to have an experience. How does it feel disturbing for the mind not to be able to use I? Because I is very easy for the mind to be clever and use. Oh, I carries the story.
And then it makes you thought, it says I. And then you say, I didn't say that. Holy shit. That just happened. Who the fuck is this I?
And then how do you know that I, who you think you are, is the I who is not fighting the I then in front of you? There's so many I's. Like you can speak with at least 10 of them in your head. And which one is you? Which one are you fighting? And which one is fighting? So you see, we don't know which. We don't know who we are. We believe that we are this or that. But we have different I for every different situation.
Mm-hmm.
I in front of my mom, I'm like this. I in front of my friends, I'm like this. I in front of my employer, I'm like this.
And the roles.
So you see how many I's do we live? And now look, the funny thing what happens. We cannot just allow the experience of I to be and leave it and carry on. What we do, I had a bad experience at work. I go home. Oh, I had such a bad experience at work. You still live that I which does not exist anymore. You carry that I into another situation where that I does not belong. I is at home with my wife, whatever, sharing a meal. Why should I bring that I into the present? So do you see that we live our life from past to the present? And this is how life is being lived mainly by people. Right now it's different because there's no tendency to do that. Right now we're only being. You don't know how you're gonna live now. You can only imagine that many things can happen or not happen. You can imagine that you go out of these doors and you lose the present and you just forget everything that happened and that's it. You become the same as you were. And you can imagine that you will go out and you'll keep this state and you'll always know. You can imagine things, but the truth is you don't know anything right now. Absolutely anything. What I and apparently he also did here, we fucked up your mind.
Yes. I think I keep asking questions.
The mind keeps asking questions.
Mind. Yeah.
See, no, not you. The mind keeps asking questions. We have no interest in questions. The mind has interest in questions. Because why? Questions keeps it alive. Keeps your attention. Yeah. It keeps your attention into questions. Oh, I'm curious. I'm interested to get answer to this question. Why not to ask a question? Are those questions are even valid? How do I know that this is the real question to ask? Because that question has been built on a thought, on a story, on a context which you don't even know is this real. How do you know that the question that you're asking is real and should be even asked? Like if I ask, how does an elephant fly?
Yeah, but if you ask how does an elephant walk?
Yeah, but well, why not ask how does an elephant fly? That's the same question that I'm saying. If you ask me a question, how do I become more present? It's the same question as how does an elephant fly? Do you want me to show you how to walk? Move your feet. It's natural. When you need, it'll happen. But you don't have to ask the question. That's what I'm saying. You have to be aware which question is even a good question to ask. Maybe all of them are just useless. Trying to even answer a question that you don't even know is it worth to even ask.
Okay. Enjoy my being.
And if a question arises, then go look at the question and see if some satisfaction or unsatisfaction arises if you answer it or don't answer it. Yeah, simple, just like this. It's nothing really much about it. Now see how in the beginning it started and how did it go to this? Do you remember how?
No.
How did you got into this where you are now? When was the edge? Like it was like this and I flipped over this moment and now I'm like this.
You see time fast. Yeah.
Right? So we cannot know is that there was a beginning or not.
But again, is time even real? It's not a question of science.
Well, no, it's just very easy to look at it. If I'm not real, how can time be real?
But I don't know if I'm not real.
Who doesn't know?
Is my mind speaking?
I don't know. You ask yourself. It's not me who has to tell you. You have to observe that for yourself. Who observes these things? Who observes a question? Is the mind speaking again? There is an observation already of that question also. The mind may pretend and say, oh, is this mind again? It doesn't change anything.
And you pointed to a bit saying, how do I speak with an I? Is there an I with a thought? I. You never had that thought I.
I can't forget.
Sometimes it seems like we need to just here, it's just now.
But it's a good thought to think about. Think about if you never had the thought of I. But think about it in a way that you're not thinking.
Even more complicated.
To make it simple, if I thought never arose, you would not know I. You only know I because there's a thought of I. And that thought of I identifies with a lot of beliefs, how I is, many different situations in different ways that I is, different stories, different emotions, big range of experience. This is how I thought looks like. An illusion of I. You close your eyes, you go to sleep, you're a goat. For some other time, there's nothing, just like deep sleep. There's absolutely nothing. You're not a goat, you're not I. There's no time, there's no belief. Just life. And even life, you don't know it's there, but you don't disappear to exist in deep sleep. Same way, you will not disappear to exist right now just by knowing the truth, by seeing what it is. But you will know when you're dreaming. You will know when you're a goat. You'll know. you'll know when you're dreaming a human. And this is the difference. That you're being aware of your dreams. And that's all. You can still dream as much as you like. The only difference, you know that you're dreaming. That's it. That's simple. And you're dreaming now. Now, your dreams have stopped because you face the biggest nightmare of your whole life. Somebody who takes away all of your dreams. And says, there's no dreams, there's all of your dreams is only illusion. And yet you still sit here and you laugh at it as if it's funny. You come here and life totally is being destroyed in front of your eyes. Your whole life, your belief, your parents, your sisters, literally, your body, like your mind, everything has been destroyed. It's like the biggest nightmare. You come to know that you don't exist and you laugh at it as if it's the biggest joke. It's just a joke. You believed it to be that. And now it's seen as a belief. And now again, you're left with the most natural way of being nothing. What's next? Nothing. What's the point of this or of life? Nothing. What do you say to others about this? Nothing. What do you do about this? Nothing.
Yeah, but you still come here to learn.
This is okay. If you don't identify with the body or the thought, you just you see this happening. And then you get some maybe hear something. Oh, awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you don't identify with awareness, so you're not identifying with the body, you're not identifying with awareness, you're not identifying with being,
Knowledge.
There's no identification with anything.
It's just nothing. That feels good.
Well, you see, at least it feels good. Many people, when they say nothing, oh, my life is just nothing. Oh, there's nothing in my life.
So if you're not identifying with anything,
It's like I don't give a shit.
So if you don't identify anything, who are
Anything. No. Guess my mind is trying to answer this question.
Because, yeah.
Well, there's no who. Are you sure?
You have to speak from your own experience. You cannot copy our words. But
How do I answer this question?
ask a child on the street for you.
The child would know better. Because they just came here.
Never been such a tough question to answer.
Yeah. I am what is.
Oh, it sounds like a Bible.
I am, if I'm not awareness, if I'm not any of the knowledge, nothing.
how can you use the word I?
Yeah, I almost said I
No, but if there's no identification,
There's nothing.
You didn't expect to come here and get a murder, did you?
So, just what is. Just what No, I am. How people say being, but not even being. Yeah, you know.
I know.
Now you are going home with nothing.
Yeah. There is a frustration like in my mind, that there's nothing.
Your mind?
Yeah.
Just what's happening.
Just what's happening. Just okay. Oh, I say I say it.
That's okay, that's what's happening. There's nothing wrong, I'll say that,
Well,
but that's what's happening.
It's really like I'm stalled.
Like?
It's a small part of what's happening.
What do you mean small part?
I'm just saying, people will see the identity and say, this is me, and they think that's all there is, that's all they are, because of their identification. But there's a table, there's all this is happening, there's a thought that happens, something happening.
How do you know it's happening?
What's that?
How do you know?
How do I know? I would say, that's a good question. But that's why as soon as you're trying to speak, there's no knowing. But that's the simplest that I can say. Maybe you can say it simpler.
So there's no answer to this question. How do you As you said, when you try to speak, there's no knowing. There's no.
It's a funny thing. Do you know Lao Tzu?
Lots of?
Yeah, the Tao Te Ching, the book.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, lots of the Chinese guy.
and he wrote in, I think, the first page, the Tao which is spoken is not the real Tao, and he wrote the whole book about it. So you see, you cannot speak it, and speaking happens. You cannot help it. It just happens. It's not up to you to create music. Music happens. It's not up to you to sit here. Sitting happens.
Yeah, like for music sometimes, I have to do that. Just force myself sometimes. It just happens.
If it happens, it happens. No stress about it.
Mm.
See, the strangest thing is that nothing changes. Nothing is different, but it feels absolutely different. It feels like you're stoned. It feels like it's like totally strange and weird, but nothing has changed. What is different?
The point of view.
Yeah, so and that point is where can we point to the point? You know, something. It feels like a shift of our perception. Our point of view was perhaps from identity, the small person, and now the point of view is from elevated seeing, which is just as life is from natural way of being. And you can shift those points. You can always go from one point to another, and you will. Sometimes will be from the point of a person, and then there's going to be a point of, this is just a person. You interact with this expression because you are. In the Bible, I think it says, in the beginning there is a word. So here you go. The whole illusion started at one word.
What?
The whole illusion started at one word. And now we live this illusion. So you live this illusion. You speak, you play, you act a human. You're just a natural way of being without being a human. See, it's funny because you live this life still the same way, but something is not the same. You lack of this identity that everybody else seems to have. And this is why it becomes so hard to communicate with others. They all seem to have something, and you come here and you have nothing. And they try to talk to you, and you have nothing there. They have something and they want to show that something, they want to show how great that something is, but you have nothing to show.
Nobody can.
And they believe that they have something to show. You know that nobody has anything to show, but they have a belief that they have something to show. But right now, what are you going to show? You're going to show your ego, your thoughts, your beliefs. That's all that you can show. So when we communicate, we only exchange our beliefs, thoughts, imagination, illusion. Right now, the communication that is happening is a little bit different because we're exchanging our presence, our being. The way we're exchanging it is different because whatever we say somehow gets drawn into the presence and it's not allowed to go into identity and into belief. So whatever you have said or put yourself through today's been thoroughly examined in presence. So no thought, no belief, no idea has been left out to keep on and to hold on. And when that is done, you're left with nothing. Instead of resisting to observe this, we took a jump from a cliff into the identity. We understood what identity is, we understood what belief is. And that the only thing that's next, the only thing that to do is to have faith in being. Have faith in your own being, and even that is not needed to be done. But just as long as you still want to play, trust in your own being. Trust in your own being instead of your belief. Trust in not knowing, just in nothing, instead of a belief in something. Because that trust brought you here today.
Trust in them.
Well, it sounds funny, but it's so. But you see, when you say trust in nothing, it feels like you're trusting in everything. This is the strange thing. When you trust in nothing, you feel like you can trust in anything. Not blind trust, because blind trust is a belief. But you trust the presence. It's as if God took care of all the birds and the animals and the plants on the earth, what more for you, the Son of God? Yeah. What more to worry for you, for the Son of God? If all the nature, the plants and everything is taken care of, why you should worry about your own existence?
No more questions.
I have a question. Where is the washroom?
See, practical question. This is the enlightened question. Behind the wall.
My body wants to go to the
See? Perfect.
My deep body.
And I have to go.
Perfect time.
Perfect. We've done the task.
Okay, so maybe I'll just kind of stop this one.